Welcome back. We've got another Blitz game. Looks like it's going to be a 4 knights. I'm trying to remember if I'm playing knight f6 or bishop c5. Yeah, I think I'm playing knight f6. d4. Okay, so it kind of changes over into a Scotch. E takes d4, knight takes d4. Got to put this bishop somewhere and get castled. I don't mind him taking on c6 usually in this opening. What am I going to do if he takes and goes e5? Maybe I want my bishop on b4 so that if he does that, I have knight to d5. And I'm threatening knight e4 anyway. Okay. It could give him 3 isolated pawns by taking here. Doesn't seem like a bad idea. I'm going to go ahead and do that. But I want to castle before he plays bishop a3 and potentially denies kingside castling. Actually, I didn't really have to worry about that, did I? Because of d6 and c5. Okay. Rook b8 now, or should I do something about this bishop? Why don't I play rook e8 so that if he castles, I can go h6 and g5 and then take on e4. Alright, anything wrong with g5? Bishop g3, knight takes e4. Takes. I don't think so. King's a little weak, but he doesn't have all that many pieces left. e5 is met with rook takes e5. Okay, knight takes e4. And I'd like to just get this knight traded for one of his bishops. This rook, I guess, belongs on b8. If the light-squared bishop gets traded, this bishop belongs on a6. Otherwise, I'll probably play d6 and develop it somewhere on the king side. What's he doing? Knight takes g3, and a later... Okay, knight takes g3. He can't immediately threaten queen h7. Oh, but he can play f takes g3. Shoot. He can play f takes g3 and threaten queen f7, and then when I play queen e7, he could play queen f5. So let's play d5 instead. Goes queen over to h5. Okay. Well, now I have the natural queen f6. He doesn't really have f3 because then I'll take on g3. This looks fine to me. Oh wait, I hung the c7 pawn. Man, tactics is not my strong point. Yeah, okay. So now can I do something with knight takes f2? I don't think so. The later knight h3 check doesn't help me, even if his king moves, because the bishop's also guarding the rook on f1. Okay. Maybe bishop f5, f3, knight d2. Or knight takes c3. Does seem okay to me. Alright, now that I've given the pawn back, I'm regretting playing h6 and g5, of course. I don't know if there was some way to hold on to it or not. May have to play queen g6 here, coming up soon. Okay, he goes queen over to f3. Yeah, that looks like a good move. And if I go bishop g6, he goes bishop takes e4. So what about king g7 instead? And then g4 is met by bishop g6. The nice thing about this kind of queen trade is if it happens, it brings my king into the center, but it does so at a time when the queen's just left the board, so that's probably not a bad thing. If he could stick his bishop right here, I'd be in big trouble, so we gotta watch out for that. But luckily he doesn't have the b6 square, he doesn't have the f4 square. Okay, we go bishop back to g6. And how do we want to handle this? I could take with the rook. That looks interesting, because I'm going to be threatening his g4 pawn later. Yeah, that looks really interesting, actually. Okay, my king is out in the center of the board, but that's okay here. And we slide into e2, which is his second rank, and we put the other rook on e8. Once again, I missed that I had a tactic here. I could have taken on c2, but I have to save time, so it's okay. Alright, why don't we just grab this pawn? And what now? Maybe king g7? Takes. Oh, no, we can't do that. Let's get rid of a pair of rooks. And we will go bishop back to d3, and then take... Should put it on g6. He can take on g5 now with check, and then take on f7. Shouldn't be the end of the world. F takes g5, king takes g5, rook takes f7. Maybe I play king takes g4. Interesting. Okay. Is that a good idea, though? Okay, so king g6, f5, king h7. That's not bad for me, is it? I should have taken on g5. Okay, bishop e4. King h7. Now we're going to take the open file. Come on, stop missing things. Didn't even see that this pawn was hanging. It's ridiculous. I gotta stop doing that. Okay, check. Rook h1. Let's try to bring the king back into the game. Man, I'm embarrassed by my bad play. h5. Let's take on f5 so that I have a passed pawn like he does. Hopefully I can make mine worth more. Let's Hey, we won on time. I've had a couple time victories recently from bad positions, so I'll count myself fortunate. Thank you for watching.